Hey guys, sorry I'm speaking with Earthwalker Primitive. Been here in my shed today. I kind of had to move indoors to get away from the wind. It's a little bit windy, a little bit breezy, but I want to discuss something. Somebody made a comment on one of my videos and asking me about the magnesium bars and why I don't have one in my kit, and asked me to explain a little bit about them. They've seen them before, didn't know too much about them. And I sent him a message, said I might do a video about it, and here I am. But I also said in my message to him, I said person, I forget the name of the person, so this video is for you. I forget your name offhand, but this is a response to your comment. But in my message to him, I said that I really don't want to say I disapprove, but I don't like to carry them. I don't like them. I don't think they're very. I mean, they do help you start fires, but in my opinion, they're just not worth the work and all that you have to go through to use them. And I'm going to discuss why I don't like them, why I don't carry them. I do have them. I have played with them, just learning and experimenting and trying new things out myself. I do have a couple two different versions, and we'll discuss that, the difference between the two. And the main reason I do not like them, there's two main reasons I do not like them. This is more of an accelerant than it is a fire starter. It's more of getting a quick, and you'll see, I'm going to demonstrate it here on my table, a quick hot flame, almost a spark. It's almost more of just an extended spark than it is an actual burning ember or some kind of tinder, like having char cloth or something like that. And the sparks it creates are just a very quick burning, and you'll see that in the demonstration. So to me, it's there's many other things that are just a lot better to carry than a magnesium bar. And the other thing I don't like about it is you pretty much have to have ideal circumstances to use this. That's why I'm indoors, because as you can see, the way you use this is by shaving down the magnesium bar. This is the magnesium bar. They're all pretty much the same, some different variants. It's a block of magnesium, which when shaved down into fine shavings or a powder is very flammable, very combustible with a spark. Then usually they have a fire striker, a ferrous rod, embedded in the top of it. And in a sense, what you do is you shave it down into a pile just like this. You can use, I use the back of the spine of this opinel just to shave it down some until I got a pile. Then you would use the striker to start it. And you'll see when I demonstrate how quick, if you've never seen or used one of these before, you'll see how quick they burn. But that's the thing I don't like about them, is that you have to shave this little tiny pile onto something else that's going to quickly catch fire. So you already have to make a bird's nest or something like that, or have some kind of tinder that's going to take a spark, take a hot spark and burn. And then you got to shade this little tiny pile and keep it right there, because if you spread this out, it's really going to be ineffective. If it's spread out, you know, you could light this and part of it might burn, but not all of it's going to catch. So you got to have it in a little tiny confined pile. And if you're shaving this onto something, you know, you're going to have it spilling off. If it's windy out, it's why I moved indoors. I was out in my chopping block, but every time I tried to get a little pile, a gust of wind would come in and just quickly blow it away, just like that. So that makes it completely ineffective, because once again, like I said, these little shavings are going to be poof, in an instant they're going to be gone. So if you do not have them all in a pile, they're not going to generate enough heat, enough flame to catch the already tinder bundle which you made. And you're going to strike this with your fire striker anyway, with a fire steel, or even a lighter. You could do it with a lighter. So you've already just put more work into doing something you don't need to do. If you can make a tinder bundle that this can catch on fire when you put it in a pile and light it with a spark, then you could just light that with a spark anyway. You don't even need this magnesium bar. It is good if you have some damp stuff and you're trying to light that, but like I said, you got to have a big, huge pile of this to get something damp lit. You're going to be sitting there scraping, getting in a pile, hoping that everything stays together, keeping it all condensed, and then light it and hope that within that split second it just burns. It's going to do enough to dry that damp tinder to catch it on fire. To me, it's not worth carrying. It's not worth the work. I have 3 of them, and they stay in my little box that I have for taking the classes and showing demonstrations. And now I want to talk about a couple things about the difference between these two. As with everything, pretty much you get what you pay for. Alright? Unlike 15, 20 years ago when everything made by Coleman was made in the U.S. by good products and good equipment and stuff, now all their junk is made in China. This is the Coleman brand magnesium bar, made in China. You get what you pay for. As you can see, these 2 piles, I pretty much shaved just about the same amount off, but you can see the other bar, the better one, had these nice big curly shavings when this Chinese made one really just more made of powder. It was really hard for me to get it into shavings, and that's part of it too, because as you work this down, you got to work it with an edge and try to use the edges. But you can see how the difference in the wear. These are pretty much had about the same amount of usage on them, and this one's really worn down, the Chinese one. The other thing I don't like about it is I don't know the difference in the quality of the ferrous rod on the top, but I don't know if you can see this in the camera. Try to get it focused in. It's really bowed from where it's just been eaten up, and whereas the other one, it's still pretty much full intact. And that's another thing I don't like about these, is the fact that you have this ferrous rod in here, but you're only getting the usage out of this part, unless you were to pop it out and then use the whole ferrous rod. So that's just, yeah, to me that's wasting a resource, having that ferrous rod in there, where you can have it out and extend it, and once you wear it down, you got to pry that out of there anyway. And if you have no ability or capability of doing that, then you just expended the usage of this magnesium block. So like I said, you get what you pay for. This is the Coleman brand, made in China, piece of junk. And this is the made in the USA. They even put, manufactured by Doan, Mock and Equipment and Company, and even it's got his address on there. So obviously the company is pretty proud about what they make. This is the standard Army issue one that is in the pilot safety survival kits and stuff, and fighter pilots and whatnot. And that's what they issue. And this one here, like I said, it was generally a lot better. The magnesium comes out more in nice big, shavings, which is what you want, because like I said, you want a bigger pile, you want more surface space to catch a spark, you want, more mass in that pile. And once again, like I said, I really didn't shave too much more of one than the other, and you can see the differences in the piles. I just sat here and shaved and kind of count it in my head, think about maybe 15 seconds or 20 seconds or so, and that's where I was left at. But to use these, like I said, you would hope that you have an ideal situation, a dry tinder bundle, and or a piece of leaf or something that you could set inside that tinder bundle, and which really isn't effective, because this is going to go up. When I show you, it's going to go up so quick. So you would almost have to put this right in the grass. So this is more of an accelerant. It's not really a fire. To me, it's not a fire starter. A fire starter to me is something I'm going to strike, light, or ignite, and poof, I'm going to have a sustained flame to build a fire on. This isn't. This gives you an extended spark to hope that you catch that tinder bundle and then have to do more work. And because you're going to see here, we're going to do first the pile of the Chinese brand one, and then the American made one. Burning wise, they really don't have much of a difference as far as the quality. Okay, so just because I say it's a cheap Chinese and this is good American doesn't mean one's going to have this big huge ball of flame and one's not. They're pretty much going to do the same thing. But once again, you shave your pile down, you use whatever you got to strike. They come with a striker. I take them off. I don't really like them, but that's just personal preference. They do come with a little short piece of hacksaw blade on there. Once again, like I said, those small shavings, you're sitting here trying to alright, so you see how quickly that goes up. Alright, now, oh, I just got some of that ash in my tea. Yummy. I don't know how magnesium ash is going to affect my tea. But, see how quickly that was kind of unique doing it indoors like that. I never had that happen before. But it did char my table. I mean, so it's going to burn. It's going to catch whatever you have. And if you have it in a pile like that, it's going to catch whatever you have on fire, whatever's touching it. But it's very quick. All right, we're going to go ahead and strike the American-made one. That burned just a little bit longer because of the bigger pieces, but not much. You know, this one had more poof because it was probably because it was more of a powder, more of a flake. This burned a little bit longer because of those longer coils. That's very interesting. That's cool. Kind of entertain myself here doing this. But so you can see the differences between the two as far as quality of the bars themselves. See the difference of how they burn. But like I said, if I could do that with this striker in the tinder bundle and get that to light fire, I could do just the same with my ferrous rod, which I always have with me on a dry tinder bundle as well. Because obviously you're not going to stick this in something wet. You're not going to try to light something wet with this. It's not burning fast enough and long enough to do that. It can accelerate something. And like I said, if you were trying to burn something a little damp or a little bit hard to start with just a plain spark, you would need a bigger pile of this, a lot more work and a lot more effort. So that's my take on the magnesium bars. I have them. I don't use them, but I have not been able to. I haven't been in a situation where I need it out practicing and whatnot, where these made my fire starting any easier than it was starting it without it. So it's not something I feel necessary for my kit. I'm not telling you not to put it in your kit. I'm not telling you it's not a good thing for you to have, because that's not what I'm all about. I'm about you going out and practicing and learning and trying new things and developing what works for you. Just because I don't like this doesn't mean that you're not going to pick it up and have a great time with it and like to use it. Maybe you just want to have something to help accelerate your tinder bundles or whatnot and starting a fire. If that's the case, then that would be something worth it for you. If you just want something down simple and easy to start a fire, then maybe just a plain old large ferrous rod is going to put off enough sparks. It's going to put off the same amount of sparks and the same amount of heat that this magnesium bar is. Then that's all you need. You don't need a magnesium bar. So, but I will say, buy American, buy the good ones, don't buy the cheap ones. Wear and tear, like I said, it's a piece of crap. But these are pretty solid. It's harder to shave. I don't know if there's a difference in the density of the magnesiums. You know, I'm not a scientist or all into that stuff, but there might be a difference in the density of the magnesium, because it's harder to shave these, and because of that you get bigger shavings, bigger coils, whereas this just makes, like I said, like I demonstrated, just like a dust, as opposed to that nice big pile of shavings, which probably benefits you and do you a lot better. So I hope this answered some of your questions. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something and gained some opinions on the magnesium bars for yourself. I'm sorry, speaking with Earth. Welcome to Thank you.